Hello, these short videos were created to introduce ColumbusFood functionality that are enhancements built seamlessly into the Microsoft Dynamics NAV solution. Using simple examples, we'll highlight key Columbus functionality that is being used by the meat poultry industry today. For many years, Columbus has worked with various types of meat processors and their product lines. Columbus has the solution, experience, and support to meet processors' unique ERP system challenges. This specific video highlights Columbus Food's formulas or recipes, batch planning and scheduling, and production recording and reporting. For processors who produced an item, grinding and forming meat, for example, and then packaging that item into various packaging configurations, Columbus Food offers those processors formula-based BOMs. This is a formula or a recipe for ground meat. A where used would list the intermediates that this formula is assigned. In this example, the ground meat item is our batch item. Each of these versions represent a unique formula for the intermediate. The certified version is currently being used in production, while this version is under R&D. Looking at the R&D version, the General Fast tab maintains base information about that version. The start date and status of the version can be changed as often as needed. Batch size is identified by weight or volume, and scaling up or down is possible by importing a single value. The Lines Fast tab maintains the actual formula and possibly instructions themselves. This item requires Columbus's pre-process activity, an activity required to be completed prior to the production's use of this item. Defrosting, mixing, measuring are other examples. Lot preferences are assigned to any component item, which requires lot-specific attributes to be considered valid. This ensures the right ingredients are being used to maintain consistent quality. Columbus's unapproved items allow for R&D to work with recipes to investigate the impact of potentially new items being used. And finally, a phantom BOM can be added to isolate a sub-process without maintaining that as an intermediate item. The Equipment Fast tab is where the equipment used in production is assigned. It includes the min and max capacity quantity and the fixed and variable times it takes to produce the item. Routings can be utilized to outline production processes. The Costing Fast tab is where processors can enter any activity-based costing which occurred during the production of the formula version. The resource that is entered on the line can be a person, machine, or other. The Formula Fact box displays the input and output, weight and volumes for the formula version, as well as the formula version density. The formula cost by weight volume and the formula cost active give per unit information both about this version and the active version for comparison purposes. This is a finished good item. The production BOM number field maintains the packaging BOM number, and Columbus's production grouping item field is indicating the intermediate item used to produce this finished good item. Looking at the Lines Fast tab for the packaging BOM, we can see that it takes so many pounds of the intermediate item plus packaging to complete. NAV and Columbus offer full production planning and scheduling tools, but here we're focusing on one tool to plan batches on the intermediate item's demand for the processor. We first run Columbus's batch planning worksheet to filter by location and define how far out we want to view demand. Our three batch planning panes are giving us views of the finished good item, the equipment by day, and orders detail. In addition, we have visibility to any maintenance on that equipment. This is possible because Columbus has a maintenance management module built into NAV. Next, we start our planning based on specific finished good items. This is identifying the intermediate item's demand and calculating the total batch quantity. Either a single or multiple picks of equipment can be selected to produce the intermediate item. Either way, based on earlier setup, the batch quantities are then calculated. The minimum allowed batch size means that there may be a residual amount of intermediate produced. Planning calculates what can be done with this, and the user makes the final decision. Finished good package orders will display any equipment that has been assigned, and the user again determines the planning. Finally, once complete, we can generate production orders. Again, this is a very select view of all that ColumbusFood offers the processor. Processors produced in batches need an ERP solution that allows them to produce multiple batches for a single item's total demand. Our final topic is production reporting. Following or during the production process, consumption and output reporting needs to take place. Columbus's experience working with processors is extensive, from a paper-driven after-the-fact process to full real-time consumption and output postings. This includes integration to key equipment like scales and labelers on production lines. Working with any process, Columbus offers a tool called batch reporting. This tool gives the processors a view of any previously posted production activity while allowing additional postings to be made. We've entered in the production order created earlier, and the system has pulled up our intermediates split into batches and the packaging production orders. There are 3 panes. The first is informational, showing production order numbers. The second, the output pane, is where we can assign lot numbers and enter actual output quantities. Purposely, we'll overproduce this batch. Reviewing in or entering quantities on the third pane, the consumption pane, gives over-under quantity variances. Next, we'll enter the output and consumption for the second or finished good items. Recording output. Our first finished good item is an exact weight item, so the system calculates the alternative weight for us, compared to the second finished good item, which is a catch weight item, so we must enter the weight of the case. On purpose, we enter a weight outside the tolerance setup, and the system alerts us. This helps to maintain data integrity. For consumption, since we used the intermediate to produce the finished good, and we indicated we overproduced on one of the batches, we can use a Columbus tool called Balance Intermediate to have the system adjust or align the intermediate output to consumption. This maintains the lot tracking integrity required for the processor. Finally, we'll add an additional third line for the packaging items. We do this to indicate that a quantity was scrapped. This improves our yields and costing accuracy. At our first posting attempt, we have the system telling us that one of the item lots has a lot status of scrapped, a status that does not allow for consumption. So we'll switch to the correct item lot, and then the posting process is completed. Our final posting message is that we haven't consumed all of the anticipated quantity, again maintaining data integrity. Columbus offers yields and costing by pound reporting out of the box. Finally, a note. While not shown here, co-byproduct formulas and item processes are part of the ColumbusFood granule. If either of these are important, please let us know. That completes this overview video. We anticipate you may have more questions, and we welcome the chance to discuss further your business needs. Thank you for viewing.